All right. Okay, guys, you're all good and ready, right? Good morning to all of you, and you guys are all ready to go. Okay, let's begin. Okay, shall we? Let's go. All right, here we go. Today is 22nd of June, 2021, Tuesday. TWB members only, all right, morning MAO. Now, can the Federal Reserve handle this crisis? Now, why I put this word here, this caption this morning, because I found that I really think that, right, this Jerome Powell will have a very tough time when it comes to this August period. Now, of course, today is only June the 22nd, and why I go so far away. Now, because I can tell you this, I can roughly foresee what will likely be happening in the next few months. Now, first of all, we're going to likely be seeing some profit taking to end of this month. All right, I know that it's going to be crazy to say this when the Dow just went up 580 points, but if I'm going to see the whole thing the way it's being transpired here, I kind of believe that there should be some profit taking even from today onwards. That it will last all the way probably until the end of the June period. Then after that, we in July, I believe that the CPI numbers, the PPI numbers, all these numbers will gradually come down, all right, because of what I'm seeing right now in the commodities market, okay? And of course, I suspect that the retail sale will also be going up, and this will likely propel the market a little bit better. But when it comes to August, Jackson Hole, right, that is whereby it's going to get a bit dicey. And of course, whatever they're going to implement, which is slightly tapering, right, will likely cause the main selling to come in. All right, so that is my personal take in the market. So I will show you with evidence, obviously, to the second half of the MAO. All right, so today is Super Tuesday. So student of mine, do take note, today got a lot of stuff from 2 p.m. onwards, okay? So you guys need to be around, all right, for this, okay? All right, so disclaimer as usual, please understand this, all right? Today, whatever I share is my own personal opinion. Please understand you don't want to misunderstand me, or if you have questions, you can post it on the group chat. This whole thing is in-house, so that's why, I have time. Now, some people ask me, Kel, how come the YouTube videos are archived so late? Well, obviously, right, because this is for you guys. This is the whole MAO, morning MAO is for you, all right, for my students. Obviously, I won't purposely go and do the recording and upload it immediately. Then it defeat the purpose. So from 1 day to 2 days to 1 whole week, I don't mind delaying as long as at the end of the day is that you guys are my priority, okay? So that is the reason why you guys are my family members. Okay, so that is the thing here. You shouldn't wait for the YouTube video to be ready. You should look at the one in the market analysis. All right, so okay, thank you. Wow, King Hua, very nice. Get me coffee. Okay, thank you, King Hua. All right, so that is what we're going to have for now. So disclaimer as usual, so you fully understand this and accept it and identify me, all right? Thank you, Eric, for the wonderful appreciation, right? Thank you very much. I now love this. Now our comment box can see already, so I can read this at the same time. Wonderful. All right, so now what we saw, oh my God, Bitcoin, BTC falls below 32,000. Is it a time to buy? Well, we have BTC coming down, Repor coming down, Bitcoin coming down, Ethereum coming down, Dogecoin coming down, ADA coming down. Practically anything that do with cryptocurrency, all are down. All right, so what do you think, guys? Is it a good time to buy into the market right now? Please key your answer right now to me. I want to hear you guys. Now, today is Super Tuesday. And today, MAO could be very long, 2 hours long. So there's a lot of interaction to be done like that today. So guys, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that it's time to buy into cryptocurrency right now? If yes, key yes. If no, just key no. All right, let me see, guys, what's your view right now? All right, good. It's going to be fun though. What's your view, guys? Waiting for your answers. While I take a picture. What do you think? Is it a dime? Is it a good time to buy? Oh, Michael say not yet. Simon Siu say not yet. Cheng say not yet. Okay. All right. So now basically a lot of you say not yet, right? Okay. Fair enough. All right. Now, if you ask me, my personal view is the answer is you can start to accumulate slowly by putting limit order. Now, of course, this is not for AIMS. It's more for this Binance. Okay. Now, the rationale why we give you ADA coins is because we want to get you moving on with Binance. And of course, we don't get anything from there. We just want you to get involved so that you can get involved in this particular assets at a very good price right now. To me now, compared to 4 months ago, this is a very lovely price. 4 months ago, when everybody say buy at 60,000, I say no, right? And now today we are at 30,000. We are half price. Okay, so whatever it is half price. Is it good, right? Now, of course, if the market can just spike down, maybe hit 28,000, maybe hit 26,000, or even go down to 25,000, of course, it will be a steal. Now, whether or not we go to 15,000 or even 18,000, right? To me, is that right? If it goes there, I'll buy more. You understand? That is my personal thing. Of course, some people say, "Kel, what if this whole thing is a sham? What if this whole thing is a sham and eventually go to zero?" Let's put it this way. I give you a very simple numerology game. Now, let's say now I totally, by the time it hit 15,000, okay, I invested, let's say $5,000. Okay, example. And then what happened? It go down to zero. Okay, so if you go down to zero, I lose $5,000. Okay, that is my loss. Okay. Now, if this is not a sham and this price is now a very cheap price and you will go up by whichever price, if you go to 15,000 and you go back to 100,000 example, right? That means I will get back at least 6 times my so-called investment. Then my 5,000 become 30,000. So the risk is 5,000. My reward potentially is 30,000. So if I look at it, right, ask yourself a question. Most important question is this: have I not lost 5,000 before in trading on any other products? Okay, whether it's stocks, derivatives, futures, whatever. If I lost more than $5,000, then why am I kidding myself here? All right. So why don't just consider just put, place. And there's no time decay. There is no gamma on this. There is no swaps on this, right? You just buy and keep. And end of the day is right. By hit maybe here 2024 example, maybe Bitcoin be 150,000 by then. Then of course you take back and then you just can buy something with it. You got my point here. Because life is always like that. You don't want to regret something that you know right now. That is my point. So that's why I say rather than spend money on lottery tickets, you just buy some. Every day buy $10, $12, also fine. Better than you buy lottery. You will not even strike at all. Okay, you got my point here? Yeah, indeed, right? Yeah, that is how I see this for Bitcoin. I'm not advocating you must buy right now, but definitely this morning I bought a little bit more. Just, put it there, just for saving. I mean, putting the money in a bank and versus putting money in this one here itself, the difference is the bank pay you, your money is so-called safe, but it's basically losing its value against inflation. This one, I keep it for a while, maybe after 4 or 5 years, even 10 years doesn't matter. If you 10 years later go to 100,000, it's still a win. You understand my point? Okay, that is my personal view on how I'm saying this. Because let's just refresh our memory, okay? Let's refresh memory. In 2018, when the tapering crisis came in, oh my God, Bitcoin just crashed down all the way. Remember? Right? Remember? Then after that, in 2018 to 2020, right, all the way, Bitcoin just keep on coming down. Everybody says sell, and basically everybody says Bitcoin will never go up again. Right? Remember the time? All right. If you cannot remember, let me bring you some history. Okay. Okay. Don't worry. Today is it's a fun day today. Let's just some history challenge. Okay. Now, this is the Bitcoin. Let me just show to you some Bitcoin history. Now, look at it, my friends. Before Bitcoin go to the 60,000, do you notice that, right? This is what happened. Bitcoin from this 2018 all the way, okay? Bitcoin, just in case you forget. Okay, just in forget, okay? From 2018, that time was 19,000. Remember, it was where the speculation is from 19,000. It dropped all the way, all the way to 2018, from 2017, 2018, down to 3,000. Remember? 3,000. And at the time itself, remember, many students say, Kel, I want to buy Bitcoin now, but I don't mind waiting at 2005, 2001, 2000, 2008, At that time, I remember this very well because I was calling for buy. I said that you have money, just buy. But too bad at the time I don't have money. So I didn't buy much, okay? So basically what happened, all right, I told you guys that this is a good time to buy Bitcoin. I said 3,005 is a very good price to buy Bitcoin already. Very good. Because the downside is 3,005. Upside could be very high. But of course, at the time, I didn't expect to go to 60,000, 70,000. I said at least to 10,000 should be. So indeed, it went up all the way and went to 12,000. Remember that? Then at 12,000, hell, a lot of people all jumped in to buy at 12,000 because they were expecting 15,000, 18,000, remember? Then what happened again? Wow, it came back down again. And this time around, many people sworn that they'll never buy Bitcoin in their life again because Bitcoin is a sham, a scam. Again, this is what happened back then when it was at 4,300. So what happened again? People cut losses, people get rid of it and stuff like that. And what happened again? Bitcoin this time around, no chance, no given chance. It went all the way up. Okay, got my point? Now, don't forget one very important thing. In this period of time where Bitcoin was at 41,000, dropped to 28,000, again, people say it's a scam and stuff like that. And what happened again? Wow, it went all the way up to 60,000. Now, remember all this history, okay? Because while everything keep on repeating, now today itself, right? People are now all saying that, okay, what will happen now? Is it a time to get out of the market or time to get into the market? It's all about your risk management, your perspective, your horizon of investment, and what do you look at, okay? I'm not advocating that Bitcoin is a buy right now. I'm not, okay? In fact, I said it could go lower, right? But just telling you that the point is this, right? If you have chased at 60,000, I cannot understand now at 30,000, you're going to cut your losses, okay? Because I received a lot of messages asking me, Cal, should I cut my 30,000 losses now? And then maybe later I buy. I can guarantee you this, later the price go lower, right? You'll never buy one. Do you agree with me? Those who have agree with my point, please key the word agree. If you disagree, just key disagree, all right? Now, to me, I said this is basically more like a long-term buy and hold investment that is limited to a certain risk. As long as I can hold it for the next 4 or 5 years, I don't care. You understand? It's a way to just basically put into a wallet that technically your wife can't take it from you. All right, because you can transfer out, right? Only you know the password. So as long as you basically know the password, that is what you need to do. So think about this for one moment, okay? Anyway, this is just for fun. Okay, yeah. All right. Now, this is why this morning I received so many messages, because today officially we have the death cross already, right? So what happened is that now really the market has really gone below the 50-day moving average, where the 50 days goes above the 200-day. So this is actually, the 50 days go below 200 days. So which means that now that the market is considered a time to sell. Now, to me, I tell you this of death cross BS. I can tell you, if you don't believe me, it works sometime, but most of the time it will just make you cut at the time that you shouldn't cut. Okay, go back and try it yourself, and you know. But do understand this: they are using SMA, the simple moving average, simple. Okay, so that's why a bit different from we are using the linear. And of course, the MA that I'm using is 11 and 70, not 50 and 200. Now, there's a rational reason why behind it, because I backtest the numbers already. So all I can tell you is this: our indicator, which we use for the Bitcoin. Let me just bring it to you right now. You see this. This is Bitcoin. Here we go. All right. Long time ago, when it was at 56,000, we already called for sell, because we have our own death cross already. So at 56,000, 54, 56,000 around here, in short, we call for sell, and that's why we say don't touch. Even though we have cryptocurrency workshop, even though we crypto event, we say don't touch first. I say wait, let it drop, and indeed it's dropping, and now it's just consolidating here. So the question mark is this: will this break? I can tell you, my friends, I can tell you upfront here, seriously now, just a jump on the gun. Right, I believe that there will there'll be a break soon already. Why? Because you look at it, the way the market is holding itself, right, at 31,000 is very constructed lows. I mean, constructed bottoming out. So either we're going to see a triple bottom or quadruple bottom here, then this is going to be the major rally, or this is going to be the key point that all the hodlers are all there hoping that it will recover. If the market really breaks below it and it's a flash crash, which I suspect there will be a flash crash, then it's going to bring it down all the way before it recovers. Now, listen to me one more time. If there is going to be a flash crash on the Bitcoin, you should be looking to buy. I repeat myself, but do understand this, the time the demand for USDT will be very high. So that's why buy some USDT first, keep it in your e-wallet and wait, or then after you have purchased your USDT, you just put the buy limit order at the bottom, all right? And just hope for the best. It's just like buying lottery ticket, right? You just put maybe put 15,000, put 12,000, put 9,000, flash crash. Remember what happened in crude price back then, when crude price was coming down from $20. I also mentioned that, right? If you are daring, just put $10, $5, $2. Doesn't matter. Doesn't hit, it doesn't matter. But obviously, it went down all the way to negative. All right. So what happened after that? Next day, boom, the crude oil price go back $10 already. So it's an instant profit. You understand my point? But of course, you must have the money to hold. So, but for Bitcoin, all these are all one-to-one, right? You don't use margin, okay? Don't use margin. Now, why I always say there's a flash crash coming in? Because there are still a lot of people buying on margins. And this is actually very dangerous. So I did the rough estimation price, okay? I know today that it's nothing to do with Bitcoin, why I'm jumping in the gun, because there's a relative relationship towards this, okay? Right, if Bitcoin do come down to 28,000 or 26,000, okay, I cannot tell you exactly which number because I also don't know, okay, around this figure, right, I suspect that, right, they will it will trip the flash crash because the margin calls will hit. And when that margin call hits, right, the dumping will come in, and obviously that will really do a spike down. But once it's spiked down already, right, likely it will just bump up again. And this is the one that we are all waiting for. Okay, you got my idea? So are we clear with this understanding about this potential flash crash? All right, I'm not saying it will happen, but I suspect it will happen. Okay, I don't say that it will. I suspect only. Are we clear with this? If everybody is clear, please key the word CLEAR. Okay, Colin is looking at 16,000 for BTC. Michael looking at 1,007 for ETH. Okay, fair enough. Around my same level. My ETH is 1756, right? Yesterday I mentioned in the afternoon MAO. Okay, so today you can see why today the the morning MAO will be quite long. So much thing to share. Okay, crazy stuff. All right, so how to be a successful TWB student, right, or trader, right? In investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. I think this is a very good quote that I want to share this with you, right? You see, when something is so comfortable whereby you can buy and make money easily, that is always non-profitable because people think you're buying at a peak. But when the market is at a down point where everybody is very uncomfortable, right? And you invest into that itself, right? That is usually where they're going to be profitable. All right, so you got my idea. But of course, we're not talking about catching the falling knife. Okay, catching the falling knife is very dangerous unless you know what you're doing. It's just like this. I'm asking a question to you. Example. Our local share, let's say DBS. I always use DBS as a good example. So if DBS now is $10, example, okay, because it came down from $30 down to $10, okay? So what you do, right? You know that this counter will go down lower, so you're like catching a falling knife, but you don't know where the low will be, right? Because you don't know how the market will exit and you're busy. So why don't you just put the buy at order at $8, $7, $6, $5, $4, $3? Every $1 level, just put in some beats over there and let the market decide. Now, it will be a falling knife because if the market goes down $10, example, it could be a margin call level, it could be a trip level, it could be a algo level, the market bang, 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 bang. My question is this. Do you think that DBS will stay at $2 or $3 for a long time? Number two, do you think even DBS can allow it to be at $2, $3 at any time? You think about this, it's a national bank. Our national bank, our money, majority of money is there. Obviously, it will go back up eventually, right? So it's all about the viability of the asset that you're holding or you're investing. So if the investment itself is a stock, then maybe, as I say, it's going to be a normal stock. It's not a blue chip. It's not a national asset. Of course, it can go down to zero and eventually privatize, okay? But if it's going to be a national thingy, everybody will have it, people can see it, then of course, there will be a value at a certain area and you just buy it cheap. You understand? Of course, you say, KL, can I just don't do a buy limit order and let it run down? And then I think it's good, I buy. Well, if you can do that, nothing wrong. That's very good. But I say, how many of you will be online every moment? So that is a reason why I'm sharing this all with you, okay? All right, my job is to just share things with you. You make your final decision, okay? Clear? Okay, so what are the reasons to be bullish now? Think about this. Yesterday, when I shared this right, I told you that there's some insanity here. I told you, right, the S&P 500 is only 2% from a record high, but incredibly, the fear is at most extreme since October. I told you this doesn't balance. It doesn't make sense. So yesterday, don't you realize that I was a bit more bullish than normal? How many of you actually realized that I was bullish yesterday? Can I see whether you all heard me now? Let me ask you all, do you all know that yesterday I was actually bullish with the equity market? How many of you feel that way? Or you all think that I was bearish? Let me see what's your view right now. I don't type anything, but I drink my water and coffee first. I want to see whether yesterday, right, I talked so much, right? What was your view by end of the day? All right, let me hear you out. Okay, so Eric said that I was bullish. Yes. Anthony say yes. And Michael say yes. Right. Judy say what? Bullish. it's bullish. Okay, bullish, I think typo error. Okay, then after that, this Cheng also feel that, right? Yeah, yesterday. But the thing is this, didn't the Dow crash down 550 points on Friday? Exactly, remember that? On Saturday, when me, Yao Tong, and Benedict was on screen live, Yao Tong also said the same thing. Okay, yesterday, very funny. And like by about nearly 1 a.m., he texts me, Yao Tong texts me and say, hey, Kel, remember, right? I say bullish, right? I say, yeah, I know you say bullish, just to verify, okay? And you say, hey, luckily never say wrong thing. I say, yeah, of course, the whole market is sell, but the thing doesn't make sense. So that's why we know that when Monday, which is yesterday, when the Dow Jones stays above the opening price, we know that it's a buy already. No need to see one. And of course, if the system called for buy above 4P, above pivot 1, what more can you do? It's definitely a buy already. So it was very clear. Now today, you had to guess me already. Today, later, I go around, you will hear me, you see whether I'm bullish or bearish, you let me know, all right? So that is what happened. And of course, immediately today, the Dow Jones rally 580 points. It's really a wow. It's like we were down 550 points on Friday, and the next day, dramatically, nothing changed in between. The market recovered 580 points. There's only one answer to this. It's because the Federal Reserve come in to buy. There's no other things. There's no other thing else. It's not that the boys came to buy. It was very clear, because I'll show you why do I say that. Well, later on, I show you all the facts and figures, okay? Like I say once again, for those who just joined us, today, the MAO will be very long, at least 2 hours, okay? Now, why do I say that? Because look at it, okay? Look at the way they instrumentally buy, not only the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow Jones, and the small cap. You see that the way they push is almost identical. All right, eventually it's all right. Very interestingly, the one that was going up recently, NASDAQ, wasn't really moving much, but the S&P, the Dow Jones, and the small cap was being pushed up because they were so-called the laggard over the last 5 days. So fair enough. But my point is this, that's not the only reason. Let me show you. You can see, right, this is a very cute picture that I got from internet. The market is leaking in this case. The Federal hinting at tapering. All right, what's Federal Reserve, right? Bullish say that there'll be a good chance of a interest rate hike in 2022. And of course, before that, there must be some tapering. So what happened? 16 FOMC speakers, okay, in 1 week. So this week alone, 16 of them will be talking. Oh my God, all of them talking just to tell you that the market, don't worry, be happy. And of course, you say tapering, I tape for you. Is what it meant. I was laughing away when I see this cartoon. All right, so what can you see? Not only US did that, Japan. Yesterday, Japan market was down, right, by 2.5%. Remember, I think Colin was saying that Japan Nikkei was down, right? But what happened? Later on, BOJ came in, bam, 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 bam. They buy all the way and went even higher than the selling. So isn't that telling you, oh, short sellers, don't play with me, okay? I control the territory. Don't fight with me. You understand? So that's why I keep on saying this. When OP is the main price that never changed throughout the whole day, when the market is above OP, it's always a buying day. When the market is below OP, it's more a selling day. Not necessarily 100%, but works most of the time, right? So that's why when the Dow Jones was down on Friday, I tell you on Monday, if the Dow stay above OP, that means they are not going to sell already. And people who sell, they will get hit. And truth be told, they all got hit. That's why in the morning, we cover back positions. That's why in the morning, early morning, 6, 7 o'clock, I already tell you guys, some of my friends have recovered position. So that was a hint. That was a very blatant hint that I'm sharing in the morning. So that is why by people who knows me, know my pattern, right? You roughly know what I was talking about, not directly, all right? So let's hear from Jim Cramer, what he has to say about this coming week, right? This is quite cool. Let's take a look. Okay, wait a minute. Let's get the sound. We have an issue again. Gosh, wait, It was working fine earlier. Okay, so we have the same problem again. Okay, let me see whether I use the method that the who was telling me to my HDMI, but this is different HDMI. Okay, let me just try this again. Don't worry, I reshare my screen one more time. This is another HDMI cable, another one. So it's different. So not too sure why is the problem. Maybe it's my laptop. Let's see. Okay, I think I know the reason. Wait, I think I know the answer. Wait. Why am I not? It will stop. Okay, wait. I think I know the problem. Wait. Speaker, headphone, headset, same. Let me try. Cannot. Okay. Select microphone, select speakers. Okay, I think it's nothing to do with that. Earlier was all the way okay when I do this. Okay, so not too sure what's the problem. Okay, never mind. It's okay. I will put up the thing later on for you guys once again. So never mind. It's okay. Let's continue. Okay, never mind. All right. So basically, Jim Cramer was just saying that because we're going to have a lot of this speakers coming up, right? And today will be very important. And tomorrow, in fact, Jerome Powell will be today, right? Jerome Powell will be speaking, and that is the main driver for it. All right. So that is what Jim Cramer was trying to say. I'll put out the video later on to our group chats. Okay. So you can see that what happened, right? After BOJ has done it, right? The White House, okay, apparently, right, this is what they say now. PPT is what they call the plunge protection team. All right. Of course, no one can validate this part, whether is that really such people, okay? But of course, the way the asset that's being bought, right, looks very, very suspicious. I'll show you later. All right. So apparently itself, right, after the market has sold down, BOJ did this, their own White House apparently did that, and dramatically, you see that. You don't you realize this? Something just very interesting here. You see, this is why it's trying to tell you something here. You see, how it drops, right, will be how it recovers. Look at it. The movement when it go up, right, is always the same movement. All right, just like I told you guys how chocolate bar really works. So once it hit this point here, you see it purposely stop here for a while, as if like a form of resistance. Then after that, there's a so-called inverse. So you see that it come back like that, right? So here is all the way down, and here is all the way up. You see that the way it is being done is like purposely they're doing it just to push and push. So if anybody short sell on the way up, right, they'll be very badly hit. Okay, it's always like that. Okay, so that's why I tell you our chocolate bar really, really works very well. And I'll explain this more to you later on the Super Tuesday, whereby, right, we talk about this gold trading, right, and talk about the 30 packs challenge. Okay, all right, so that is what happened yesterday. If you notice, this is really identical. All right, this is how and why we say that it's a PPT, because only people who have the means and power will see the chart and then they push accordingly in this way. It cannot be retailers, it can't be big boys. Well, big boys only want to buy and just keep and hold. They don't push. You see the difference there? The very big difference is that they don't push. So that is the thing that is very clear. All right, and of course you can see why. You see all the whatever Bulla have said about the market, right? Look at it. So in fact, Bulla, I told you yesterday, right? One person can change the market, man. I keep on saying this yesterday in the group chat. I said that one person can't change the whole situation. I'm very sure of that. When the rest are all still dovish, he's the only hawkish guy. So what happened? Yeah, they just literally probably make him sell the market and then they buy out. Who knows, right? So all these are part of manipulation. Now, of course, I told you also for those who have VIX indicator, I told you guys, VIX index, sorry, you have any VIX, right? I told you to take profit first, because I know that Monday it will be pulled back. And truth be told, yesterday, it really come back down again to 18 level. The only difference is yesterday, okay, you must understand this. Let me explain this to you. Now, what we saw on the 18th, which is last Friday, right? Okay, we saw that the market started from here, started from 17. Then it went all the way up to 21, right? Okay, so that the day the Dow Jones was down, the Dow was down by 550 points, right? Now, today, the Dow Jones up by 580 points. So by theory and by right, the VIX indicator should come down to 17, but no, it stopped at 18. So that's why I suspect that, right? No, today market itself, right? If the Dow Jones today stay below OP, buyers, be very careful. I would suggest buyers who bought yesterday, please take partial profit. Please don't chase after it. Also, additionally, right, okay, put SWL. Today, you hear me loud and clear. today is a very, very important day that you must take note, okay? Because if the VIX indicator go back to 17, then fine. But when it close at 18, right, I kind of suspect already. So today, please be very careful, all right? Please put your SWL for those who long from yesterday. Now, for those who long today, I won't know why you long today because the market is really below OP, right? Unless you're buying from bottom. Now, if you're buying from bottom, like all the KTR, minus 1, 2, 3, then make sure that you know your stop loss well first, okay? I'm not saying the market will come down, but you know the day chart KSI for some of the counters are not green in color, okay? So hear me, you know me what I'm trying to say, okay? So you can see that, right? The thing is this, yesterday I was just talking about the 30 years yield, right? I told you guys the 30 years is coming down, but the 2-year yields went up. Why? Because when there's going to be a short-term interest rate rise, obviously the 2-year yield will go higher. And because the market is worried about the future of the American economy, right? That's why the 30 years yield on Friday came down. Now that is normality. But what happened yesterday? Look at it, my friends. Yesterday, the 30 years spiked up. No, my God, 30 years spiked up all the way to where Bullish was talking. Now, I tell you this, how can that be? How can that be? You understand my point? How can that be? So basically, in short, right, it's very clear that yesterday someone has sold down the treasuries, the 30-year treasuries, to make sure that the yields goes up, to make sure to tell people that, hey, no need to worry. You know, that point, someone now who have the means and power and the right mind now to do something like this. Think about this for a moment. Who will be so stupid enough to just one day sell, tomorrow buy? I mean, if a fund manager do this, you'll be slapped in the face by the compliance, correct? So obviously, someone here has to do something to make the whole situation look good regardless. So at all costs, can you see that? So that is the reason why the more you try to do it, right, the more you try to hide, the more I worried for you. You understand my point? Right? It's just like in a business, right? You know that you're in shit and trouble, but rather than tell the truth, you go and buy more luxury stuff, go and rent more Lamborghinis and do things like that. I tell you, it's going to add more cost to you. And that's why I say this is going to be a COST, big cost to the Federal Reserve. All right? So, of course, you don't need to hear me only. I'm also basically one of the big readers who like to read a lot. But today at 2 p.m., our Benedict Chin, we will do a 45 minutes uninterrupted sharing on what he's supposed to share last Saturday, okay? So he will cover all these aspects here, okay? So how many of you will be joining this Zoom at 2 p.m.? It's a Zoom. Of course, we will do the replay. I mean, we had the replay on Facebook also, but it's a Zoom. So you guys can listen loud and clear, and of course, asking questions live, okay? All right, yes, it's special today. It's a special Zoom. The Zoom link will be out later on. So how many of you will be joining? If you are joining for this one, please key the word join, J-O-I-N. Let me hear you guys. How many of you are going to join Benedict Chin later on for his sharing on the gold price, gold movement, gold and silver actually? All right, how many? Okay, let me see. All right, okay, Fred, Anthony, King Hua, Eric, Carl, Susan, Louis, Winnie, Angeline, Rachel, Janet, Fred, Han Yu, Noel, Cheng Kui, and Brian. When I'm back later. Okay, no worry, all right? The replay will be on Facebook, don't worry. All right, Hossein, Jerry, wow, so many Azar. So you can see that you guys know, right? He's good. That's why you join, because that's, you all heard him loud and clear. All right, okay, cool. All right. So later on in the second half of the MAO, we talk about the ISM Manufacturing Index versus ISM in price. It's a following update. Then we talk about the history. We talk about why stock actually goes up and the global tapering. Now, this is something that you don't see from mainstream media. I have found for you. I'll share this later. Okay. Okay, there's an animation issue here. Hold on. Okay, wait, just give me a sec. Okay, now Susan, all right, so our Susan go live now, have 187 people already. Wow, still climbing, like a crypto like that, okay? All right, now the thing is this, okay, now do note this is the new arrangement. Now, yesterday Susan did a very good live night session, okay, but I think that it's a little bit tiring for her. All right, so I have discussed on this. So we have decided that, okay, Susan will only do daily 3 to 5 p.m. That's the daily thing to do. But for night session, she only do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So meaning Tuesday and Thursday, she rests. It was Tuesday, Tuesday, we have our Super Tuesday too, right? You also don't want to be like fully all, everything on us. And also let her take a break. Maybe she want to go for dinner. She want to go for clubbing, maybe. Okay. All right. See the way she structured herself with the Tyson Ye back. Oh, I see chun chun like that. So funny. All right. But anyway, look at her. She go live, okay? She really go live. Her trading got go live on. This is something not only by say. Some people complain, hey, Susan only give live call, don't trade. Hey, one person want to give live call, want to give chatting, want to do trading. You think Superman or Superwoman, she also need time, correct or not? Whenever she can, she will do it. Seriously, if you still got thing to complain on Susan, right, you might as well don't join, because that means your life is very bitter already. Really. Free, share, show, review, trade live, and still got complaint. Oh my God. Yeah, until now, I still got people complaining, or so-called not complaining, giving negative feedback. Seriously, what do you want some more? What, give prizes? Okay, so end of the day is this, I am very stunned with some people's mentality, but nonetheless itself, we're going to protect Susan, all right? Susan, you have been doing a great job. Continue what you're doing today. Continue what you do every other day, all right? Just do it. You are doing a very good job right now. All right, so let's go with local news right now. Now, local news, we have, two new cluster in Bukit Merah View. Oh my God, this is not 2 more cases. It's 2 more cluster. Okay, 2 more cluster, okay? And of course, unfortunately, one 44-year-old man dies of COVID-19 due to his history of diabetic. So it's very sad for a 44-year-old man, right? Still a young man, all right? And of course, we can see that even newlywed went to Russia, come back, and then she also got it. So the thing is, it's still very dangerous at this moment right now. So that's why, guys, please be very, very careful, okay? And this is something I got on CNN. Apparently, they say that children in Brazil are dying from COVID-19 at higher rates than anywhere in the world. So which means that, right, children are not spared this time. So please be very careful with your children, okay? There's a good reason why your children are supposed to keep indoors, all right? I try to keep my kids indoors unless like Saturday, Sunday, we will go to a beach and just make sure that, there's no much people around us and just run around, enjoy, and then quickly go back home and, clean up. All right, they need some time, they need the air, like outdoor air. But again, like I say, be very, very careful, okay? Oops, wait a minute, my PowerPoint gone again. Okay, hold on. Okay, now for the global news, we have this Apple Daily. Now, Apple Daily is one of a very interesting newspaper. I read it before when I was in Hong Kong. So apparently now it's all over, because why? The China government is going very heavy on this. And of course, the China government also go very heavy on crypto. So now the China government seems like, wow, too big, going everywhere, right? So what happened now? Obviously, this leads to a very bad movement now in crypto market, all right? Look at it. Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, all the coins that we talked about it. Yesterday, I talked about this Dogecoin, 22 cents. Wow, this morning, stunner, 17 cents. Oh my God. So those people who, I'm just wondering, that guy who bought big Dogecoin and then at 70 cents, he was a two-time millionaire round. Now it's down by almost 60% to 70%. How you feel? Oh my God. All right, but end of the day is this. If you think that if you miss the last wave, this is a great time, right? Think about this. This is a great time to enter if you believe in this. Okay? All right. So of course, we have more news like this guy. He's from this Moody Analytics, all right? So he is saying that because of inflation headwinds coming in, it will take a year to break even after a 10 to 20% market correction. Now, again, I'm not saying that because this guy says something that I'm bearish. I'm just telling you this, that sometimes in life itself, right, you cannot pour gasoline onto a fire. Now, of course, we know that we're supposed to pour liquid over fire to basically, cut the fire away. But if the liquid you happen to pour is gasoline, then what do you expect to happen? Seriously, that is my point that I'm very uncomfortable with right now. And I tell you this, based on my personal take, it's not going to happen like today, tomorrow. The movement, if you're based on the timestamp of what is happening right now, the bigger problem will come in about late August to September. I know, but I've been saying this for quite a few times today, right? But I'm just informing you. If the dot plot and everything goes according to plan, we should see real crazy time in August and September. You understand my point? All right, so this guy, he's saying that, right, yes, the economy is rip-roaring, unemployment is going to be low, wage is going to be strong, but he felt that, right, this is going to be a dangerous point. So he says that, right, this is the time whereby he sees little chance for the 10-year to keep falling, right? He says that. So I'm not going to say, I'm not going to go do what he shared, but obviously this is a very bearish piece of information, so I'm not going to go too deep. So, and again, I'm supposed to have Jim Cramer with them talking about the other things, but I'm quite sure the sound won't come out. Let's try. Really? The sound didn't come out at all. Let me just try now. I try again.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
So no trend continues in a straight line. We are seeing a reversal of the trade last week. So cyclicals outperforming a bit today here. Take a look at the sectors, materials, industrials, there's your cyclical play. Energy stocks as well on the upside. Tech's lagging a little bit. So in inverse of what happened last week, if you take a look at some of the key cyclical names, all of which had a great week last week, CF, Mosaic, a big fertilizer, Caterpillar, Nucor, some of the other ones, Schlumberger, all, as you can see, to the upside. Tech, notable downside day here for some of the big semiconductor names, but they had an amazing week. NVIDIA was at a new high.
Can y'all hear? Can I check if you guys, can you hear what what these guys are saying?
Very soft.
Oh, very soft. Soft, no choice. I'm supposed to amplify with a speaker today, but it doesn't seem to work. Okay. All right, then
last week,
Micron,
Amazon, but these are fairly modest declines. Apple's down a little less than a 0.5% right now. I think the Fed's action importantly clarified where we are in the economic cycle, and that was a big help to the overall markets. I know it caused a little bit of agita with the movement out of cyclicals and into tech, but just take a look where we are, or at least where the market thinks we are at this point. Peak everything. That's the key paradigm. What does it mean? Where are we? It's mid-cycle. It means growth and earnings are still strong, but they're slowing. They're decelerating in the third and fourth quarter. Interest rates remain low to moderate. Tech tends to outperform in mid-cycle. That's reliable growth. That's the way to look at that. And underperforming are cyclicals like valued stocks. And that's because we're past the early cycle when cyclicals tend to do a lot better. The big argument, can you make an argument at this point that you want to keep buying tech? I think that's going to be the real issue here. And has the Fed's actions hurt the earnings estimates? So far, it's early. These are bottoms up guys, but it does not seem to be hurting them. 2021 earnings numbers are still rising. That's $190.56 for the overall S&P 500. That's been going up for months now. The 2022 number at 213 is also rising. That is a very aggressive number, folks. And remember, the old high was 163. So I know people who think we can do 220, 222 in 2022. Those are, we need to have a very strong economy, people, to get that kind of number here. So there's the risk that the earnings numbers slow down a bit. And remember, this is peak everything here. The second quarter is, we're not going to see earnings growth at 64% very often, folks. It's been going up. The third and fourth quarter, they're half of these numbers here. So you still go up, but you get deceleration. The percentage increase is not as much. Finally, just want to mention here, you heard David talking about the president meeting with the regulators on climate change. The important thing here is, remember, the SEC has already been very aggressive here. They've just concluded about a week and a half ago a public comment period on expanding all of this corporate climate disclosures. They're now looking through those public comments. They have already launched a climate ESG enforcement task force. House Republicans have been pushing back very aggressively, saying they're overstepping their bounds. There is a legal issue here, David, called materiality, whether ESG disclosure is material to the investment returns and whether it would fall in their category. Gensler has pushed back on this, insisting that it is. In fact, it's the best game for the day.
Okay, guys, so you guys can hear it, all right? So these are the comments from the guys, and you can hear that it's pretty clear that they are pretty optimistic of the future and stuff like that, and also about Biden in this infrastructure, which I told you guys is going to be related to this solar panel. So that's the reason why, which I shared last Saturday with Benedict regarding about a solar panel requirement, and one of them is actually silver. Silver is actually, a type of silver is actually required inside the materials involved. So that's why I believe that if Biden do get whatever he wants in terms of solar panel and stuff like that, then what will happen that there'll be a slight demand on this silver, okay? All right. The volume, I say it's all the way it's constant, but of course it can be up and down. So that's whenever you see video, just turn up your volume a little bit, okay? All right. So tomorrow we will have Jerome Powell testifying. All right, that's tomorrow. Today is estimating home sales. So we watch what Jerome Powell has to say. Okay, and the rest will be the same already, right? All the durable goods, GDP outcome. All right, I just saw something text by Angeline. Susan is doing us a favor. Let's not take what she is doing as of right or wrong or for granted, okay? There's no school or seniors in Singapore going to such length. I totally agree with you. And no, I'm not related to her or hang out with Susan. Yeah, that's very true, right? Angeline doesn't do that. But so she comes from her heart by telling you guys about this. It's not just because that, we are friends and must protect her. No, in fact, people who eyes, they can really see that, right? We are really go all the way to really help you. You can say I can help you once, help you twice, but we've been doing it for months. How many times, how many months, and how many events have we been doing to really help you? If this is not from the heart, right? It must be because your cost fee, you pay us $1 million? No, right? So it's really genuinely, we want you guys to make money from the market so that you guys will be our best mouthpiece. Correct or not? If you guys do well, naturally, the people around you ask you what you're doing, how come you're doing so well? And you tell your friends. That is how it is. But of course, if you stay bitter and negative, then no matter what we do, you will always be there. And of course, you are bitter and negative, you're not learning. And if you lose money, it's even worse, right? So what happened is this: when people ask you, you don't see from a positive light, you see from a negative light, you tell your friends, hey, this school is lousy. No, okay. So I realized that we cannot save every starfish on the beach. So we'll save whoever wants to come forward. That is my point here. We have tried our best to really, try to save everybody. But we know that after 20 years in this market, right, people from Ben to even Jason, they realize that, right, it's not that they don't want, it's not that we don't want to save everybody. Some people will just want to be, be rest alone, put it this way. Okay, all right, let's continue on this. Thank you very much for this, Angeline. All right, so Dow Jones from the very beginning all the way rocketed to 33,800, and it stayed there. So a friend of mine was calling me at this time. I was about to rest already. He called me and said, Kel, do you think the Dow will come down? I tell this person straight in the face, I say, no way, the Dow will end near high. He said, how can it be like? I tell you this, if I'm Federal Reserve, I've been pushing the whole day like this, I tell you that I will sure want to make sure the short sellers will get freaked out, so they'll push it all the way to the high, and indeed the Dow Jones closed near the high by the end of the day. This is something that we can see. When the Federal Reserve, the team are involved, right, there's no way they will let it go on. That is why trading now has become very systematic / based on algorithm. You just have to know what they're thinking, the patterns, and just repeat and repeat and repeat. No more value, no more high value, low value, PE ratio, all these are thrown out already, my friends. It's all about algorithm. It's all about money movement. It's all about patterns. That's it. So since we are doing the means to do algorithm, we're doing the means to do what they call pushing of market, then you just have to track what the boys are doing and just follow. That is my point. All right. Indeed. All right. Okay. All right. What is this? Don't cast pearls before swine. Okay. And Federal Reserve. Okay, so last night Federal Reserve, Dow Jones rally 580 points for the best day since March. Okay, so from Friday is the worst day, then to Monday, best day. You see that? My God, this is how it works. Okay, well, one day, one weekend, dramatically everything changed, and some more during the weekend, nothing, no news at all. No news. There was no news on Saturday or Sunday, right? So other than crypto coming down. So what happened? Let's take a look. Okay, basically the Dow Jones up by 586 points, right? It was from the worst week since October become the best day since March, okay? So what were the buyers? Okay, we have Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Netflix, okay? All right, but the thing is this, these are the one that registered losses, not winning. I mean, the NASDAQ, these counters are the one get down. So what were the one that go up, right? I told you before, the crude oil counters. So Devon Energy, Occidental Petroleum, all right, Norwegian Cruise Line, Boeing, all went up. These are very, very, very clear. These are all reopening plays, okay? So the question is this, they are buying a reopening play, then explain this to me. Then 5 days ago, why are they not doing that? So that's why I tell you this, anything and everything happened for a reason. And I told you yesterday that the bank share have been slammed down, right? And I told you this a bit too low, likely will rebound. And truth be told, yesterday, all the bank share rebounded. All right, so all this is all something we can see, and we talk about this in the morning MAO. So I already did the homework for you already. So now the thing is that they're saying right now is that, okay, yeah, we are looking towards tapering, but maybe this tapering is not a bad idea. So sooner or later, the earnings will come back. So then why I questioned why you sell last week then. So the thing is this, more importantly now, Bitcoin come down. Now, why am I talking about Bitcoin this morning so early, right? It's supposed to be afternoon MAO, right? Because you know, many companies have got involved in Bitcoin. So obviously if Bitcoin price goes lower, right, their earnings will be hit. Like MicroStrategy, they have already bought $1 billion or $2 billion worth of Bitcoin already. If Bitcoin goes down a bit more, right, it will send panic across it. So that's why I'm telling you guys that if they, I mean, of course, I believe they're buying it, you know, based on the market. But the question is, Bitcoin itself is only 21 million pieces, right? So I don't know how on earth MicroStrategy managed to get $2 billion off the market. So that's why a lot of question mark here and there. So I can only say that, right, as long Bitcoin is coming down, some companies will be hit. And obviously one of them will be our innovation will be recently very quiet, right? Okay, so news-wise, I don't see anything other than they just talk about the best day of the market. Basically, the whole, I was waiting for the news update, but I don't see any new one. It's just very clearly, they just want to tell you that yesterday was a good day. So if yesterday is a good day, so obviously people buy today, right? So of course, the market cannot come down. So if the market is below OP, you know already, all right? All right. Yeah, indeed. MicroStrategy, they sold bonds. They sold bonds to take the loan money to go and buy Bitcoin. So imagine Bitcoin go down. Pia. Think about this, okay? All right. Anyway, this is the Dow Jones. Now, why do I tell you guys to be, just follow the system? You just have to follow the system. Okay, let's look at it. Now, yesterday, the Dow Jones opened here between the two pivot, right? So we did say that the KSI is red in color. Hence, therefore, most likely it'll come down to pivot 2, correct? So indeed, it went down. But look at the low, look at the pivot 2, right? Almost there. Now, what happened is this, the market rebounded at the pivot. Now, we already said this many times. The KSI may be red, but the market with trigger color change is very important and it's going to be the most important of the system. So if the Dow Jones cannot go down, then it has to go up. And the rule of the game is if the market trigger a CCRY at the pivot 2, you have to buy. You only sell when it goes CCYR below pivot 2. But if it goes up CCRY above pivot 2, it's a buy. Now, of course, you can choose not to buy. No one is going to force you, but that is what you paid for, right? A precise level, a precise setup. Then, of course, when the market goes above the pivot 1, now what can you do? I already tell you again and again and again. Above OP, above pivot 1, even the KSI is red, you can still go long. Just that you just need to be very careful. You may want to take profit along the way. So all these things are information that you learn from us. You learn from us. It's starting to change. So let's see what happened yesterday. So what happened? Look at the chart. Look at it. The market went down below OP, right? So it hit the pivot 2. Now look carefully at the 15-minute chart. Look at it. There were no color change for you to sell. No CCYR for you to sell. But there is a color change for you to buy. This one here. CCRY above pivot 2. And you look carefully, this guy here at the bottom of the lowest bar of the day is actually a BMB. Do you notice that? The low was a BMB. So BMB triggered CCRY. Now, seriously, you think about this, you just have to buy somewhere here and your stop loss put here. Now, this is your so-called X. Now, everybody, if let's say we just on hindsight, you sell at the highest of the day. You sell here itself, right? How many X is this? Tell me, guys. How many X is this? All right, let me know now. How many X is this? Do a mathematics here. In your opinion, how many X is this? $100X? No lah, 100X. It's only 10X, all right, around 10X here, okay? All right, so which means that if you reach $100 yesterday, just only a trade like this, and you just hold the way on hindsight, right? You will make $1,000, all right? That is only based on that. Then, of course, remember the rule of the game is if the market is above OP and above CCRY, above pivot 1, sorry, what can you do? Just sell. Now, of course, you may say, Kel, but this point here, right? This is a CCYR pivot 1. Is it a sell? The answer is yes, it's a sell. CCYR is a sell, yes, it's a sell, okay? But the only problem is this, the market really immediately recover, almost immediately. Can you see that? The bar down 3 bars, the bar 1 bar really go up. This tells you the strength. And of course, the KSI jump at the bottom concurs it. So what happened again? The market try to sell, but almost immediately failed, creating a single rate. Single rate, you know, is a very bullish signal. And of course, what happened? The Dow after that shoot up. Can you see that? There's a BNB right here, and that basically confirms the upside. All right. So remember this: when the market is above OP, above pivot 1, there's only one rule: CCRY buy. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else, my friends. See that? CCRY you buy. All right. This is what you should do yesterday. Okay. All right. Cool, huh? So don't you find that our system is always repeating and repeating and repeating? That's why Susan can do that easily. She don't need to see market, see news one. She just call. She see, just call. It's just about like that. This is all it is. Don't you realize this? How did the market know pivot 2? Did the market know pivot 2? I'm sure they don't know, right? But the thing is that this pivot 2 is already there. So when the market goes down there, the rule of the game is once you see any color change at the pivots, right, look for buy or sell. And the only color change you can do is CCRY. So that means that there's only one thing to do is to buy from there. So it's as if blatantly the market tell you what to do. But if you don't do it right, there's nothing I can do. You understand? So this is what happened to the market. Don't you realize this? From the moment here, from pivot 2 all the way to pivot 1, there's no color change at all. Don't have. And the color change only happen at the pivot again. Don't you realize that this pivot is very crazy, very scary? Because when the market opens at this point here itself, right? When the market opens here, everybody look at it. When the market opens here, no one will know this is the high, correct? No one will know. No one will know. But yet the market knows it. And once it reached there, you see that it stopped there already. For more than 2 hours, don't you find it very scary that we have a pivot that really can predict the low and the high of the day? So think about this. If the crazy app is actually ready, right? And we can put these numbers inside your handphone, do you know that how scary this will be if it goes down the world? And people who really see the point of it, right? They really will see the value of this. I can tell you, they'll make so much money. So that's why sometimes I realize that, right, even though we have this system in our hand, people still don't believe it. No matter how many times we do MAO itself, people still don't believe it. It's okay. The more you don't believe it, the better it is, honestly. I know that this will be very clear for all of us. Okay? Sorry, I just stopped earlier. Okay, so let's continue. Sorry, there was a break earlier. All right, so this is what happened now. Let's look at the market now, okay? Let's look at the market. Let's go. Now, the reason why it was yesterday, I was just asking a friend of mine. I was just saying that, hey, how y'all find Susan, the thing? I mean, basically, it's all right. Most people are very happy, but still got some people have this very negative thoughts in their mind. Actually, I find it very, very sad. I mean, I feel sad for them, not sad for Susan. I feel sad for them, really. Okay, let's look at the Dow right now. Okay, so the Dow today, let me just take down all the lines away. A bit confusing, Let me take it away. Because the market already break already, right? I take this away. See that? All right, okay, let's go. Okay, so this is a very clean chart right now. Okay, so very clear. The Dow is now basically did a BMB, right? So by doing a BMB, you need to put 2 lines there. It's the high and the low, okay? The high and the low. So as long as the Dow stays above the BNB RL, the Dow will be going up. And because it's a BNB, right? So maybe you go back up to new all-time high. Now, on a flip note, if the Dow, the RL is utilized, but it cannot go above it, right? Then there'll be some profit taking. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, I did tell you guys that the 95% or the 5% mark is a very important number. So this is the historical high. And when that happened, 3 days later, the Dow really come down to the 95% mark, 33338. And after that, what happened? It touches and rebounded almost 1,000 points from there, right? So now, after a while later, okay, it came back down again. It broke below the MA30 and it went all the way down. And again, this time around, touched the 95% mark. The only thing is this, the Friday, it closes below the 95% mark. So mathematically, we should see going lower. But you can see the boys came in very powerful, right? They decided that no, they're not going to let you happen. So that's why when it crossed back above the 5%, the 95% mark, right, the market pushed up all the way, and they purposely make sure that they cover even higher than the day, just on Friday's the high. All right, so the question is this, I will say this, the only thing that to look out for today is the MLP. MLP is taking the opening and closing divided by 2, right? So that will be the MLP, right? I change a bit of color, so to differentiate a bit. All right, this is MLP, right? Roughly there, okay? Roughly there, not drawn to scale, just roughly there. So as long as the Dow Jones do not break below the MLP, I think we are very safe. There should be higher upside. So simply put, the high of the Dow yesterday, 33,921, will be the key pivotal point to watch out for. As long as the Dow Jones stay above 33,921, the Dow will go up back to the MA30. The MA30 is here. The MA30 now is, the MA30 now is trading, wait, let me just change the color so that all is clean and clear. The MA30, okay, cannot see right, y'all. Wait, in a darker color. The MA30 for now is at 34,253. Yeah, so it's about nearly 400 points away. So it's now trading below MA30. That's why the selling effect is still there. Okay. So today I can be very clear with you. 33,921. Okay, I give a number. 33,921. As long as the Dow can stay above this figure, the Dow will still likely be going higher. If the Dow stays below this figure, then there might be some profit taking this week down to the MLP of this white candle. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. 33,33556. Okay. All right. Okay. 33556. Okay. So that is the exact number. Okay. Okay. Roughly that. Okay. Got the idea now? Okay, so this is the Dow, my sharing for today for Dow. Okay, now we talk about this Dow Jones Weekly. You see that the Dow Jones Weekly beautifully stopped perfectly. I told you right last Friday, or sorry, Monday morning, I told you guys about my view of the Dow Jones. I told you guys the BMB SL will be a very important support, and you see the Dow purposely yesterday hangs above it. So this is the reason why I tell you TA has its play and his part in the market as long as you have certain rule that is very consistent. Okay. So in short, as long as the Dow Jones stays above the BMB SL, there is no call for concern. Okay. All right. So before we go into other market, let's look at the Dow for today. Now Dow today, this is the Dow day chart. Very clear for today. As long as the Dow stays above OP is already above the pivot 1 level. So based on that, CCRY will be a buy for Dow today. The only thing is against you is a KSI is red. So when you go to KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 3, do take some profit. Okay, it's not say cannot buy, can buy, but just that right, it must be above OP and above and must have CCRY positioning. Okay, all right, and of course the take profit is at KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 3. Okay, can buy. I repeat. Now, if the market goes below OP, then how? Problem. Below OP all the way down to this point is called the uncertainty zone. And normally, right, what will happen? You have the buy impact and the sell impact at the same time. So it can be very tough to trade. So usually below OP to the pivot 1, right? Normally we don't trade here. Unless you have a very good reason, maybe it's a BNB triggering KTRs and you want to feel like selling the market. The only thing, because the KSI is green, red, sorry. If the KSI is red, it's going to be leaning to the sell side if the market do have a very strong sell signal. Now, if the KSI is green, then totally it'll be very hard to trade already. So that's why you must understand how can you, arrange your trading accordingly. Got the idea? Yeah? Okay. So that is how I see the Dow Jones for today. All right. Now, of course, let's jump to Hang Seng first. Now, Hang Seng this morning have gap up, right? Then it came down earlier. But now it bounces off from the low end already. All right, so what is happening right now on Hong Kong? Let's try China first. Now this is China A50, okay? China A50, you can see there, right? It's slightly higher, all right, it's slightly higher compared to yesterday. So maybe this is the reason why Hong Kong is able to be off the lows right now. But if you remember this, I told you guys, remember, this is the big movement day by the Hang Seng A50, right? So it's about identical like what we saw in Dow Jones. Now the next few days, the market dragged its feet, right? Then after that, by about number 6-7 days, when the market touches the MLP, I have to be very careful of this. And of course, when the market closes the MLP, that's why the market gave in. So could this be the same thing like what happened in Dow today? Well, we wouldn't know, but at least we know that, right? If the Dow to come down, it'll take another few more days before it challenge the MLP, okay? All right, if the Dow can come down almost as fast as it go up, right, then that is going to be very dangerous already, okay? All right, so that idea. So now we look at the NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ basically had recovered, all right, pretty strong. Today's MLP is somewhere around here, 14,093, and it's very, very nearby to the all-time high level. Very, very near, okay? Or very near. Okay, for the MA30, oops, sorry. Right, yeah. The MA30 is somewhere here at 13,870, so it's quite far away, so no real concern. Okay. Now, of course, the BNB already been given, the one time already been given. Right, remember this? I told you guys, right, there's this BNB here. So this is the range, right? So I say that you'll go up by one range, right? You see, almost identically given. Power, right? This BNB, yes, a very, very powerful tool to use. Okay. All right, S&P 500. S&P 500 also is missed by a BNB, the BNB by a little bit. So for today, S&P 500, the MA30 is somewhere near here at 4213. All right. Yeah, I'll come to that later on. Zebra side, Jerry Horner. Okay, so that is the view right now. Let me just take away all these lines first. Okay. Okay, here we go. So S&P 500, as long as it stays 42, above 4213, it should be still positive at the moment. Now, there's something to take note on the TWB system charts today. Okay, let me show you NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ, do you notice this is a zebra? NASDAQ is a zebra formation, right? Reading the chart from right to left, this is yellow, red, yellow, red. Now, if you read the chart from left to right, then you take this one, the yellow first, right? This is wrong. This is incorrect. Now, reading the chart from right to left and left to right got difference, okay? So for our view is right to left. So yellow, red, yellow, red. So these four are the zebra formation. So with that, for what we learned, right, we need to do the so-called taking the range of the entire zebra. So this is the high, then this is the low. So that means that this is the entire range of the zebra, okay? So which means that, unless a new zebra is formed, if not, then if the market goes above this point here, this is the entire range of the zebra, right? The market can go one time higher. That means it can go past 14,500. So at the same note, if the market do come down and goes down below the zebra SL, then we can see coming down in this same magnitude. So at the moment now, of course, it looks more set to go towards the buy side. But I'm going to give you a little personal view on this. All right, if it goes up, right, and it failed to go higher and pull back, then what you can do is that you can actually do a sell position here, slightly below the zebra high, then that will be your risk. And if the market really goes down by this magnitude, right, then this trade here itself, right, is going to be pretty sizable. The ROI will be very good. The risk-reward ratio will be very worth it. Okay, got an idea? Yeah, of course, that is on the pretext that you basically do that. Okay, so that is what I'm sharing with you. But definitely the zebra is in already. Okay, all clear on this? If everybody is clear, right, please key number 1 right now on this zebra side. If you're not clear on what I just shared on the zebra, what you can consider is that you can go to our last Tuesday, Super Tuesday, and look at it. Okay, it's there. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so that will be the NASDAQ, and let's look at the S&P 500. S&P 500, there's no zebra, so you just have to live with it, but it is a CCRY, so by right, CCRY is a buy. KSI also green, so by logic, everything is a good buy today. Okay, all right. And some more above OP with pivot 1, it should be a buy. All these are all the buy reason, but of course, there's a new cage all over here. So if you're closing above the cage RL, tomorrow there'll be further one more day of buy side. Okay, that is what we are seeing right now. Okay, so we're done Hang Seng DAX. Now, DAX yesterday already right, the warning that DAX will recover, right? So see, yesterday already said that DAX, if it goes above OP, is a buy. Remember that? And of course, we also mentioned that if it goes up, right, if it go all the way to touch the MA, if it's possible, and it really trigger. So for Uncle Arun, if you are here, congratulations to you. For those who bought DAX yesterday, I think yesterday Susan called for buy in DAX, right? So all of the DAX players all make money. So what do we do for today DAX? Very simple, draw the MLP. The MLP is somewhere around here, 15,478 roughly. So as long as DAX basically stays above the MA30, which is 15,590, as long as the market stays above 15,590, right, DAX should be going higher again to test 740, okay? So which means that today, DAX has a possible potential to test 15,740, okay? It is possible, all right? So as long as the DAX stays up, it will be going towards there, okay? If you want to be supported, then the MA30 will be a very important level, 15,590, okay? All right, that is DAX. And of course, we have the Nikkei. Now, Nikkei, we saw an incredible recovery yesterday. So obviously, you can see very clearly that Nikkei is not going to test the MA30 because look at it, the way it went down below the MA200, right? And incredibly, it went all the way up. And then now today, the MA200 become a solid, strong support. So only big boys can have the power to do this. No way a retailer can do this. So Nikkei should be going upwards towards 28,890 for now. Okay, right. The support is at the MA200 is at 28,530 level. Okay, so it's pretty clear that everything happened for a reason. Okay, guys, I have basically covered all the indices. Now look at the commodity, which is gold right now. Now, gold yesterday was in a really whipsaw position, about it's a $15 range, but eventually closed near the high. Now, basically, there's not much news. There's not much news in the market other than the treasury yields sliding. That's why the gold price firm, but that is like 2 days ago news already. So what was more important than news is to follow the rules, okay? Guys, yesterday, I told you the opening price is actually very near to the pivot 1, right? And I say already, as long as gold stays above OP, CCRY is a buy. Yes, the KSI is red. You can still buy with a lower quantity. You can still buy with a lower expectation, but you can buy. Above OP, you can buy, right? Above OP, above pivot 1, definitely can buy. So I don't understand why people still don't buy. Look at it. Look at all the CCRY that's above OP. Now, not every trade will make, but let's go through all the trades, shall we? Okay, let's take a look. First of all, the first opening one, this is early, right? Very early, you say Cal wasn't around. Okay, fine, don't trade. This one surely make money, right? This one confirm make money. This one also make money. Now, 3 trades in a row all make money. Why are you still holding back? Right? Then the worst thing is after C3 trade make money, when the market already hit KTR plus 3. My friends, KSI is red in color. KTR plus 3 already hit the top end of the standard deviation, right? So why you want to buy here, leh? So I got student buy here, then next moment they know, bang, come down, they get angry with me. Alamak. So why these two can buy? Because this is at the KTR plus 2, right? So if you want to fight to go for KTR plus 3, you can see it's still able to go up. But seriously, when the market from KTR plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 already hit this point here, maybe just take a break already. Don't trade gold anymore. Right? So that is the reason why I say traders, you must trust your system very well. and trade accordingly. All right, you must know the terrain. If the terrain is against you, then if you already make money 3 rounds already, don't get greed over it. All right, don't do that. So yesterday I got people buying. They bought this gold here, and the price come down. They got hit. They lose money. They get so angry. Say, Cal, you say CCRY sure can make money. Why I don't make money? Da 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 da. You know. Sometimes I really don't understand what should I do with some of you guys. Okay, so I already say nothing is 100%, but majority of time you follow rules, you will make. So if you want to be very skeptical and everything, and under you see everybody make money already, right? Then you come in and buy here. Then what should I tell you? Correct or not? You should buy earlier, right? Where we've been calling. That is the very sad part, but it's still happening. Okay, anyway, so let's just continue on the gold analysis, and let's take a look right now on gold. Now, gold is now still trading a bit higher, and I did say that gold you all can buy because already it hit the 50% mark at 1761. Although I don't mind buying at the lower price, but I tell you already, right, as long as the gold stays up above OP, for now it is a buy. I already said this yesterday. I also very openly, I also showed my trades yesterday. I still don't understand why people are still not buying. All right, not to go all in. The level that I will be going to be more is 1711, 1669, or 1659, sorry. But, you know, at this junction now, make some pocket money, correct or not? So, although it's below MA 200, below MA 30, right, it's very bearish, right? But as long as at the moment now, it stays above OP, in general basis, you can still buy for time being. Now, the weekly chart also rebounded, right? I told you already, so that's why. Okay, so the question is this, right? Silver, I told you silver, although it's below MA 200, right? Also, same thing. As long as the market stays above OP, generally, you can still look for it to buy for intraday purposes, okay? Now, for today's day chart, it's very, very clear. Take a look. Today's the opening price is already above pivot 1. So today's OP is already above pivot 1. All right, yes, the KSI is still red in color. All right, but there's a KCX at the bottom already. So which means that, right, the goal for time being now is kind of like it's kind of like bottoming out for time being, unless it's another wave of selling. So for gold today, as long as above OP, above pivot 1, CCRY will be a buy. And if you remember this, I've been saying this like a broken recorder. You take a look at gold right now. Have you buy gold? Yeah, it's a buy because the buy is here. This is your stop loss. And of course, now gold is trading higher. So you see, everything is falling into place. The only thing is this, because the KSI of the gold is red in color. So that means the upside, right? Maybe at 1789, you should consider to book some profit. Okay, you got the idea? Pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. Nothing too difficult, right? Anyone bought gold just now? Anybody bought gold? Anybody bought gold? What? Kai? So early, Kai? You are very early today. Okay, gold, do take profit at 1789, okay? All right, so that is the gold chart and explanation. All right, so I do that part. Okay, I need to do oil, sorry, crude oil, wait. Now, crude oil, I already say, and I say this many times already, crude oil is going to go up to $80. I tell you already. So any pullback is a buy. Can you see that? All the way been showing that. All right, so today for crude oil, very simple. KSI is green, is between the two pivots. So likely crude oil may go for 73.65 range. Okay, if crude oil stays up, 73.65 will be the target, because this is how crude oil move. Okay, very, very simple, identical to whatever you learn. No sleep without family. Thank you. All right, so cool. Okay, give you all the love we need. Okay, bought gold, Eileen, Angeline bought, Rachel, Joseph, wow, all bought gold already. Well done, guys. Okay, all right, so that will be all for the first part, MAO. All right, so the second part is very long today. It's at least half an hour of sharing. So if you think that you heard enough, you can exit right now. If you want to continue to listen to me, then you just give me 15 minutes, I'll come back. Okay? Okay, I'm back. All right, so now I'm going to go into this. Now, why do I want to focus on this alternate market views today? Because I saw a lot of important stuff. In fact, the content I have today is actually quite a lot. So I break into two pieces, which means that today is part one, tomorrow part two. Yeah, indeed, so many stuff to share with you. Okay, let's begin. Now, this is what I'm saying about pouring more liquid into a fire. Now, this is Benedict that was back then. Okay, so what happened is that, right, we know that just to basically, to take out fire, you need to pour something on it, right? Obviously, the answer should be water, right? Right. But if you pour gasoline into it, right, it's going to just make the fire even bigger, all right? So that is what we are seeing right now. But of course, why Benedict, right? That was the picture that I have. So of course, I do some editing now. This Jerome Powell now. Okay. All right. So Jerome Powell now is also doing the same thing. Now, there's something interesting about Jerome Powell I need to share with you, extra stuff. Do you know that during Janet Yellen time as the Federal Reserve Chief, right, Jerome Powell was one of the federal officials, right? Do you know that actually Jerome Powell is actually a very hawkish person? Hawkish, yeah. He don't believe that the quantitative easing is going to help. He don't believe. In fact, he's one of the few that go against it. But when he became the federal chief, right, he no choice. He had to do what is necessary to do, and that's why. So on this note, right, there are some saying that, right, maybe later on when he really got no choice, he will pull the handbrake harder than anybody else, and that will cause the market to break. So of course, this is also conspiracy theories, but anyway, I'm just informing you a little history of it. Okay, yeah, indeed, Benedict was the original helicopter. All right. So this is what we can see from this morning CNBC. I just happened to see this. Smart is a person name, okay, by the way. So you can see that they are saying that, right, they are looking at the potential of more hikes coming in 2023. So, and he says that, right, the central bank is now way behind the curve, which I totally agree in my opinion. Because you cannot blame them. It's not very easy to do a macro picture on this. You only be like, based on data and roughly, and also don't hurt people. Hurt people means the Wall Street guys. So it's either it's going to be quite difficult, but very clearly itself, right? Most of them are looking at about 1.25 to 1.5 for 2023. The only thing is this, by in 2022, the dot plot says that, right, they're going to see some movement already. So this is something quite interesting. I think that next year, 0.25 should have one for next year, but 0.25 is not going to change or going to make the market break, okay? All right, so you can see that, right, while this is going on, crude oil price keep on surging, right, really non-stop one. Any pullback in crude oil is a buy on dip. Any pullback is a buy on dip because, well, one reason is because there is some saying that the crude oil is highly in demand right now because economy is reopening. Okay, that's one look at it. The other thing is this, they are saying that, right, they are trying to basically make someone happy on the other side of the world, and that's the reason why, to get some deals done. So that one is a bit too conspiracy theory. I don't go into that, but definitely from the way the crude oil is moving towards the $80 mark, right, seemingly very, very possible. And look at the chart, you look at the crude oil chart, you can see right here now, the chart all the way is basically showing its strength. And now we are just marginally away from the recent high back in 2018. Okay, this is a period where crude oil slammed down to $7, remember? And then after that, it went all the way up to $74. So 10 times in 1.5 years. Oh my God. Okay, 10 times. Okay. So the thing is this, how high can crude oil go higher, right? I say it can go even higher to all the way to the high of, let's say, $80, okay? I believe that crude oil will be able to go to $80 in the near future, right? $80, no problem, okay? So any pullback, I say any pullback will be an instrumental buy. So I like you to pull back, then after that, buy up again. So that is what I'm seeing for crude oil, okay? All right, the other one is this. Now, this is where it's very interesting. Remember, I showed at the time the yield chart, the inflation chart, and the gold chart. I told you the gold and yield always go together, right? But there's one period of time the gold went up on its own and the yield went down. So I told you guys most likely that if not, the yield must chase after the gold, which I don't think so. Likely is the gold come down to the yield. So now what I'm seeing here is that the crude oil price now is way divergence from the copper, while they usually move in tandem, right? This time around, the divergence is so big. So what will likely happen? Well, there is a possibility that copper will have to chase. Now, if copper chase after crude, right, inflation will go through the roof. All right, so most likely is that the crude oil price comes down and the copper price has to go up a bit. and they meet in the middle. All right, so how can crude oil come? If the crude oil price come down, what happened to the Dow Jones equity market? Most likely will also come down, because the Dow Jones equity market, right? A good chunk of the sector is actually you have have crude oil related stuff. So if the crude oil price do come down, right, likely this Dow Jones equity market will also come down a bit. Okay, so that's why there is a divergence now between the crude oil and copper price. Okay, now what is the reason why am I telling you that on yesterday market is definitely done by the big boys? Look at it. The market sold down a different way at different timing. It's very sparsely shorted down or sell down. But when the market go up, you look at the way it go up, right? It's almost identical, and it's almost like you move, I move together one. So that's why I tell you this is very clear. Yesterday, it's not done by retailers. It's done by some people who had the means and power to basically push everything together regardless. So you see that, right? Almost everything went back to Thursday close, all right? To the tick level, everything. The way it moved, the way it recovered, it's almost identical. All right, so definitely it's very clear that someone or some machines are actually on it right now. Now, this is something that I shared about 2 months ago about the ISM Manufacturing Index and also the ISM Price paid leading by 12 months. So what I'm trying to say is this: usually the ISM will come down to meet the ISM Price. Usually it's like that for the last 30 years. And when this happened, the market will near a peak. So at the moment now, it's still very far away. So some people say that don't worry, that means the market is not too far away from a peak law. So all I can tell you is that this is what it's seeing right now. Now, of course, this is the real 10-year treasury rates over the time. And of course, whenever the market is doing very well, that is where the market will hit a top and then stop come down, right? So now what I'm trying to say is this, all right? This current look now is at 2013, which is here. The momentum now at this point is very identical here. This is the point I'm trying to say. The 2013 and 2021 momentum, right, is almost identical. So what I'm trying to say is, if this could be identical, then if this is the interest rate, right, goes up in this parabolic form, right, and then gold may be hit, all right, may be hit. So traders need to be very careful, all right. So they're saying that there is a possibility that there will be a tapering soon in about 2 months' time, which is probably likely will happen during the Jackson Hole period. That's what this picture is trying to explain. All right, but you can see very clearly, if you are hiding under a rock, you will tell me that the market is up by itself. But you look carefully, the Federal Reserve balance sheet and the S&P 500, the way it's moving is almost identical. So that is the reason why I say if there's going to be any tapering in the market, right, the first thing to go will be the equity market. So that's why, in my opinion, is this: the moment you see that the next quarter, whereby the Federal Reserve pump in more money, right, and the stock doesn't move, right, that means that is the turning point to watch out for already. Get the idea? Yeah? Okay, so this is the why am I concerned, because this is the global US, China, Europe, and Japan. They are global M2, meaning money supply, right? But you notice that the money supply now, right, the percentage change have dropped. Although it's still going upwards, but the speed is dropping. And if the speed is dropping, means that, right, they are getting more and more jittery. And for America itself, right, it's even worse. America, you can see that although the money supply is still moving up, right, but the percentage has dropped already. So that's the reason why traders must be very, very careful, all right, with this recent sudden surge of the dollar. All right, I cannot understand this other than, right, it's just to show you that the market is full of bias or full of money. On the flip note, right, they don't tell you that the percentage have changed already. Okay, now this is the balance sheet expansion and contraction versus S&P 500. A bit heavy for this morning, but in short, when they are expanding, the stock market will rally. If the market, they are decreasing or they're not pumping money or they're doing tapering, the market usually goes sideways or downside. But it's not very accurate, because we see in 2017 to 2018, the stock market continues to rise up regardless of this point here. So overall, this is just only a pretext to let you know that, right, how come it's a good time to look out to be careful, just let it drop a bit more, then at a lower price, then buy into the market. Now, this is the very important thing, is that there have been 0 times in history when Federal Reserve start a rate hike campaign did not lead to a negative outcome, which means that every time when there's a rate hike, right, the stock market eventually will pour or sell off. Okay, so do note about that. All right, so basically this person who created this chart said that all these crises will definitely, that one of them will become the main headlines. And the last one will be this one. This is a black swan event soon. Now, every time when you see this, when the PPI and the CPI spread versus S&P is beyond normal, right? What happened? Like a big movement is coming in. So the last time we see something of sort, okay, was during the Asia financial crisis where the Lehman Brothers collapsed. Then after that, in 2011, it happened again, but it was a small rundown, all right, because of I believe because of this manufacturing recession. All right, so all I can say is now that we are also doing the same thing. We are now way above, but there's no other news available. And of course, when that happened, right, you can see that this is going to be very scary. If it goes down in the same magnitude, right, I mean, the US market must drop by at least 8 to 20%. Then you have a bit of more room. Okay, so my personal take is still the same. I suspect it's going to be an 8% drop from the Dow all-time high. This is my personal take here. All right, once you hit 8%, maybe I'll review again. All right, guys, you got the idea now regarding what I have to share for today. There's so much information, right? I know that's a bit overdrive, but if this is going to happen, right, usually there will be out of nowhere something will happen, and that's why I put the word black swan, because I don't know what will be the main reason that caused a problem. Who knows it's really cryptocurrency? Who knows it's really China? Who knows it can be even USA? Okay, all right, so that will be all for today. Now, the last part for today is the KFC. I'm very, very sorry because when we do the back testing, right, we forgot about the week itself, the weekend. So the KFC chart, the right date is not it's not yesterday's high. You cannot use yesterday's high as engagement. You should use tomorrow. The KFC is tomorrow. Let me just show you live again, just to apologize for this, for the inconvenience caused. All right, for that apology. Okay, now you see the date at the bottom clearly shows that it is the 23rd of June, right? Because what happened was 21st of June was because it was not including of the Saturday, Sunday data. So what happened is that, right, when the market crossed on Monday, the calculation of the period to period, right, apparently the right period is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow high. So tomorrow high then will be the so-called the KFC line. And of course, staying above the line, most likely you go higher. If you stay below the line, the market will likely go lower. So it's not today, all right? Now the KFC we'll revamp it and make sure it's properly and done. And we only give it out to students who are active user. Only when active user, Ben will check through and then we'll just tell you, say, okay, this is, you can use it on this, on that. Because it can only work for the Dow Jones, this NASDAQ, Hang Seng, and Gold, right? So the rest cannot be used. So if you don't have the 4 of the above, right, then it's pointless for you to have it anyway, unless you want to, do something with it. So all I can tell you is that be very to take note of this point here. Okay, all right, that will be all for today's MAO. Thank you for staying all the way. Yeah, Hong Kong KFC. Let me just double check. I see. Yeah, also shift to 27 because it's within the same week. Yeah. I think so. All right. Okay. So we will give you the new KFC very soon. We just need to refresh everything first and get back to you all. Okay. All right. Thank you once again for today. I will see you guys later. I'll let you know the schedule one more time again. All right. So see you then. But don't forget that 2 p.m. is the session with Benedict. Okay. Have a great day. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.